Please give a warm welcome to the survivors and victims and heroes of this conflict. Here they are. Ladies and gentlemen, our Ugandan mother, the founding country director, the ambassador for Invisible Children International, Miss Jolie Okot.
Thank you very much. I am more excited and I feel a little nervous, but please bear with me because I'm overwhelmed, you know. I'm also still coming from the fever of Kony 2012, so I'm nursing it slowly. So the delegation who are here from Eastern Central Africa, Uganda, Central African Republic, South Sudan, and Democratic Republic of Congo. I want to thank you so much for honoring this invitation because I know you're all very busy people, but this shows how much everyone is affected by the LRA conflict and the care everyone has.
Johnnie Carson, right?
Your great belief in the organization Invisible Children has made a history of the 21st century. And I'm so proud of you. And you stood for the voice of the voiceless. And I want to say thank you so much for supporting Invisible Children. I am standing here to motivate you and saying stop at nothing, but continue doing the work you're doing. Joseph Kony has to go to the ICC or to God. Stop at nothing. The children of Central African Republic, South Sudan, Democratic Republic of Congo are the same as any other child all over the world. So please stand by them and stop the abduction and let Joseph Kony face justice. The work of Invisible Children is determined by the passion. Jason, I want to say thank you so much. I've never forgotten in 2003 when I narrated how much I've been affected by the war, my abduction, my cousins who died, and he said, Jolie, God has a plan here for us in Uganda or in the United States. Thank you for standing by us. And I want to say thank you so much for all of you who believed in what we said. And I hear is all evident by the leaders who are standing here on the stage. And we say thank you so much for bringing Joseph Kony to the spotlight. I want to start by saying to the critics, thank you so much. Your criticism has helped us so much because it means you cared. And it moved the conversation and it kept going, and now it has brought to over 100 million views from one single camera out of eBay to 100 million views. So don't think we are against what you have said. Your disagreement with invisible children does not mean Joseph Kony should not be brought to justice. So I want to say thank you, critics. Supporters, especially those who have been schools for schools, I want to announce that the standard of education in Acholi land has improved very, very much, from Jacob Acaye to over 4,000 kids benefiting out of our education program. So I want to say thank you so much for supporting our education initiative. It means a lot to the people of Northern Uganda. And I am also very happy, I just said it, that I wish when I was being abducted, there was an early warning system in Northern Uganda. It wasn't there. So I just went for 2 years with the rebels. But I want to announce today that we have here witness from Democratic Republic of Congo that your contributions towards the early warning network system has saved so many lives of Congolese children and children of Central African Republic. And finally, I want to say that we just completed the first ever rehabilitation center in the Democratic Republic of Congo, and it has 50 children who are now receiving rehabilitation. And I want to say thank you for all of you for your contribution. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Jolie. Thank you. And now my friend and brother and grown man, Mr. Jacob Acaye.
Okay. Thank you very much. I'm so excited to be here today. And it's not because the turn-up was so good, but because we have these incredible people. The in front one. Like, we had so many events trying to get their attention. These are world leaders. You are not here for me. You are here to be with me in getting in touch with them. So right now, here I should turn and talk to them like this, but because I respect what you guys do, I'm going to talk facing you guys, but I hope they listen. So right now, I am your representative, right? So this is what I have for them. My dear leaders, we can do all what we have done for the past 7 years, moving down, up, everything that we want. We wanted to get in touch with you guys. And I want you to know that we, the young generation, feel so insecure with injustice anywhere in the world because it is a threat to justice in the future, and it will affect future generations. And as such, we have been doing everything possible to have this one, which has been going on for so long, solved. And we could not do it because we needed you people, because you have the power to stop it. You have the power to do anything. People from UN, AU, African leaders. Like anywhere in the world, if you're a leader, you are leading us. So what we want, if it is going to affect us positive in our life, we really want it. And all these kids, we have those one in the crowd who are like this much, like this tall. They're like, we want it to happen. And it can only happen if you guys sit down in a round table where you come from, wherever office you are in, and make it happen. Again, thank you so much for coming. And I want you to know that I am almost becoming a lawyer. And wait, I have like few seconds. This is the only thing that made me do that is because I feel like law can help bring justice. And these need lawyers who are smart, both in the mind and in the heart. That way they won't favor anybody, right? And listen, this is what I want. You who are inside here right now, you are smart in both ways. You're smart in the mind, you're smart in the heart. And that's why justice will win, no matter what they want or what they think. Yeah? I want to thank you guys so much for coming, and I want to hand it back to them. Thank you very much, Jason.
Thank you, Jacob. Give it up to all the civil society leaders. These are the leaders, the heroes, the survivors. Thank you so much. Thank you for taking the stage. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for making the trip. So, you know that Invisible Children likes to dream and imagine and think of impossible things to do. That's like what we love to do. And so, as you can imagine, we sit around, Jolie, Jedediah, myself, we think up like what could we do that would have a bigger impact or could actually end the war or could push the needle on social justice. And we dream it up and then we deliver it to a man named Ben Keesey. And Ben Keesey is our CEO for a very good reason. It is because he is able to take that dream that happened 93 days ago from today. We said, we want 10,000 people in DC from around the world to come lobby 10 world leaders on the LRA conflict. And Ben goes, okay. And he takes the spreadsheets and he has management meetings with our management staff, and the dream is realized. I know, and I'm telling it as it is, Invisible Children would not exist if it wasn't for Ben Keesey's tenacity, courage, stability, wisdom. So I am proud to welcome to the stage the man who has built Invisible Children and made it what it is. Please welcome our CEO, Ben Keesey.
Thank you. Thank you. 2012 is a year that I will never forget. Like many of you, this is a year that we will look back on as some of the best moments in our lives, where things that we care about were elevated to a stage that sometimes we never thought possible. And for me, it brought me back to where it started. For those of you that don't know my story, not long ago I was in the process, in the stage of the life that many of you are in right now. College, post-college, figuring out, what do I want to be? I want to be successful. What does that look like? What is that? And so I went down the track that was natural for me. I went into business and finance, and I interned with JP Morgan in the investment bank, corporate finance group, and then Deloitte, the most prestigious financial institutions. I thought that's what success was. I thought that's what a meaningful life was. And in 2003, though, Jason and the founders of IC made Invisible Children the rough cut. And it impacted me in a way that I never thought possible. Like many of you, when I saw that film, something in me changed, and I couldn't describe it. I was telling my friends, and I'm like, there's these kids, and there's this movie. All I could say is I felt connected, and it made me want to do something. I am so proud that you felt that emotion, and you decided to do something with it. You decided to show up here today. Thank you for doing that. At the same time, in 2003, the Undersecretary of Humanitarian Affairs for the United Nations, the United Nations' top humanitarian official, called the LRA crisis the most neglected and forgotten crisis on the planet. Again, the most neglected and forgotten crisis on the planet. Under a decade later, it is such an honor that I get to stand on stage in a few moments with these leaders from around the world, looking in your faces and talking about the LRA at one of the most high-profile events in history. But I can tell you this, the only reason that they are on stage is because you were in those seats. When I communicated with them, I made a lot of promises, you guys, and you delivered. You are here. Thank you. . First up this morning is the representative of the United States, our host country. And let me tell you this. The United States has sent the highest official that focuses on Africa to kick off the global summit on the LRA. This man, Assistant Secretary of State Johnnie Carson, is an incredible leader. He literally is on top of the policy of the LRA. It goes across his desk. The big decisions, the hard decisions, the difficult decisions of prioritization, resource management. The United States government has a lot of priorities, and it's to the credit of men like Ambassador Carson that the LRA issue remains a high priority in the foreign policy of the United States. So guys, do me a favor, okay? I want him to feel the energy. I want him to feel your excitement when I get to introduce Assistant Secretary of State Johnnie Carson to kick off the Global Summit on the LRA.
Thank you very, very much. Thank you. Here we go. Thank you. Thank you. Ben, thank you. Ben, thank you very, very much for the warm introduction. But thank all of the audience as well for the great reception. Your passion, your energy, and your enthusiasm bring all of us here today committed to a shared goal of bringing Joseph Kony to justice. Our commitment is as deep as your passion, and your energy will continue to drive our commitment until we can achieve our joint goal. Let me begin by expressing my very warm welcome to the distinguished ministers, foreign officials, diplomats, civil society leaders, advocates, and activists who are with us today. For those of you who are from outside of town, welcome to Washington. I'm inspired to be with you today. Your presence sends strong signals that people across the globe, especially young people like yourselves, will not stand by and be silent as armed groups commit senseless atrocities and terrorize innocent communities across Central Africa. The results may not always be direct or immediate, but know this, your voices make a powerful difference. As the late Martin Luther King Jr. said, the arc of the moral universe is long, but it bends constantly towards justice. Great distances and different worldviews often divide us. However, particular events in history break down those barriers and connect us on a personal level, on a very human level. They touch our sense of what is fundamentally right and wrong. The Lord's Resistance Army is one such phenomenon. As President Obama said 2 years ago, the Lord's Resistance Army's actions are an affront to human dignity. Those abducted must be freed. Those wounded must heal. And those responsible for these violent acts must be brought to justice. Over the last several years, the peoples and governments of Uganda, the Central African Republic, the Democratic Republic of the Congo, and South Sudan have worked tirelessly to bring an end to the threat posed by the LRA. They have endured difficult circumstances and made enormous sacrifices in the search of peace. In coordination with the African Union, the United Nations, and other international partners, the United States has provided cross-cutting support to these important regional efforts. We believe it is in our collective interest to help our African partners to strengthen that capacity to resolve conflicts and establish lasting security. When it comes to the LRA, it is tempting to talk about a silver bullet or a quick and ready-made solution. However, history has taught us that it is not that simple or straightforward. Anyone who has spent time in the remote areas where the LRA operates or studied the LRA over the years can testify to that. That is why we are pursuing a comprehensive approach, supporting both military and civilian efforts. Over the past year, the United States has deployed over 100 military advisors and increased our logistical support to regional military operations. At the same time, we have deployed civilian officers and expanded programs to promote defections from the LRA, establish communications networks, and empower affected communities. Despite these enormous challenges, the region is making progress in addressing this threat. The LRA has been weakened and pushed out of many, many areas. Hundreds of abductees have been rescued. There has not been a reported LRA attack in South Sudan in over a year. In May, the Ugandan military captured LRA senior commander Caesar Achelem. Caesar Achelem was long considered one of the LRA's top 5 commanders. In August, the Ugandan military attacked the group led by senior LRA commander Dominic Ongwen, who is wanted by the International Criminal Court, and seized their campsites. Defections are on the rise. Since Achelem's capture, several mid-level officers have left the LRA. In the last month alone, more than 19 people have defected or escaped from the LRA. We are working with a range of partners in the region, including Invisible Children, to airdrop more leaflets, expand radio broadcasts, and establish safe reporting sites to encourage the remaining LRA to peacefully turn themselves in. We are also supporting communities in establishing new strategies and networks, incorporating high-frequency radio to increase their own security, and the delivery of humanitarian relief supplies continue. This is not to suggest that the situation is resolved or that Joseph Kony will be apprehended tomorrow. Communities across Central Africa remain vulnerable. The top fugitives remain at large, and the LRA continues to have a significant physical and psychological impact across multiple countries. Ending the LRA threat will require more effort, more time, and even a bit of luck. But as we gather here today, I think that we can very confidently say that we are all moving together in the right direction. We have come a long way over the last several years, and with respect to the support of the international partners, especially the AU, the UN, and the NGOs, we are making progress. Achieving that ultimate goal of ending the LRA threat and establishing security will require the sustained resolve and collaboration of all of those involved, beginning first and foremost with the governments in the region. Although CAR, the DRC, South Sudan, and Uganda may have their differences, they are bound together by a desire to protect the people in the region. Their troops and their citizens are on the front lines. Their continued partnership and leadership, more than anything else, will determine the success of our joint efforts. We believe the African Union's involvement can help solidify that regional cooperation. At the same time, though, there are many other stakeholders who have very critical roles to play. One of the remarkable things about this effort is that it has brought together an unusual, non-traditional coalition involving UN peacekeepers and civil affairs officers, former abductees, community radio operators, religious leaders, local self-defense groups, aid workers, international diplomats, peacemakers, philanthropists, and not to forget all of you. As we move forward, we must continue to strengthen this coalition and grow it by reaching out to new groups and forging new partnerships. The theme of your summit today is move. But when you think about it, moving is not enough. It is how and where you move that matters most. And when we move together, we can have a resounding impact on achieving our goal. That is what has made this regional effort, this movement, and this coalition so effective over the past several years. And that is what is needed to sustain this progress. So let's all keep moving together. If we continue to do so, I believe that we will continue to move in the right direction towards a future free of Joseph Kony, free of the LRA, free of the violence and brutality that he has caused, and ultimately a future where civilians are protected and such horrific abuses caused by Kony and the LRA will no longer exist. Thank you for being here, and thank you for your energy, your enthusiasm, and your passion. Those things help to reinforce our commitment to work together with you to achieve our common goal, a Central Africa that is free of the LRA and where justice has been brought to Joseph Kony. Thank you.
Do you mind if I ask you one more question? Thank you, Ambassador Carson. As you've noticed, I've asked him to remain on the stage. Because, sir, many of the young people in this room are considering the course of their careers. You know, they're considering their area of study and maybe their first internship or first few jobs. And many of them will consider careers in civil service, public service, NGOs. I've even heard a few of you are coming after my job, so I'm going to look out. Ambassador Carson, as someone that started as a Peace Corps volunteer, has spent 37 years in the Foreign Service, including multiple ambassadorships, and now sits as the Assistant Secretary of State. What advice do you have for them as they're deciding and going on this journey?
Whatever you do, whether it is in the public service or in the private world, do it with passion, do it with commitment, and do it with a desire to make a difference. Your energy, your passion help to generate new ideas that drive us forward and keep us vibrant. As Ben said, I was a Peace Corps volunteer, and my enthusiasm for Africa grew out of that voluntary experience. I still believe today that the Peace Corps is the best international voluntary organization ever created. And it is one of the finest legacies of the U.S. government to a commitment to development and a commitment to partnership and friendship with others around the world. Inside of government, through the State Department, through USAID, through the Centers for Disease Control, through the Department of Agriculture, through the Department of Commerce, there are many opportunities to engage in international work that will drive your passion and your enthusiasm and where you can make a fundamental difference. But equally, on the outside, there are things that you can do working with NGOs, working with the United Nations, working in the private sector that can make a difference. The key to success for each and every one of you is to follow your dreams, but follow those dreams with enthusiasm, with energy, passion, and commitment. And as one of your earlier speakers said, Sean Stevenson, do it with a sense of purpose and vision about where you want to go, and do not be deterred by those who said it can't be done. You are a part of a nation and a generation that has helped us to move forward because you believe in yourselves and you believe in the dreams that will make us continue to be strong in the future.
Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Thank
I
you.
appreciate it. Thank you.